Can't be running around here just droopy on one side. It is time for another cargo e-bike review. I've been doing a lot of those lately, and this is the Letrigo Minivan. It is a mid-drive motor with a belt drive. There's a lot to go over, so let's get into it. The Letrigo Minivan is a Class 2 e-bike, which means we can reach up to 20 miles an hour via this thumb throttle here on our left-hand side, our 5 levels of pedal assist, and our mid-drive with a torque sensor down below. The bike weighs 71 pounds, but has a maximum payload of 450 pounds. And during the time of this review, you can purchase the Letrigo Minivan for $28.99, and it comes with a 2-year warranty. Letrigo says that the average rider height for the minivan starts at 5'2" and goes up to 6'3". And it comes in 2 different colors. You have this blue and white version right here, and it also comes in silver and orange. Letrigo says that the single battery version of the minivan can go up to 45 miles on a single battery charge. The minivan has a very interesting transmission. It doesn't have any gears. This is a CVT, which means it is a continuous variable transmission, so there's no real gears to it. Take a look at this indicator right here. It shows this little guy going up a hill, but if I push it back, it flattens out for flatland, and then if you have more of a load, you're just going to keep moving this forward, and now you can see that the little guy has moved up. So depending on what your load is and your terrain, you can just twist this into various so-called gears, and it will adjust accordingly. The motor is an Aneda Cargo Line 48-volt 500-watt mid-drive motor. It has a peak power of 750 watts and 130 newton meters of torque. For the drivetrain, it has a Gates CDX carbon belt, which gives you up to 20,000 miles. All of the shifting will happen inside this Enviolo internal gear hub. For stopping power, you get the Tektro Dorado 4-piston hydraulic brakes with 180 millimeter rotors. The front forks are hydraulic. They have 60 millimeters of travel. You can preload them and you can lock them out. The tires are by Chaoyang. I'm really liking this tan sidewall that it comes with. These are 24 by 2.6 inch tires, and they have an all-terrain pattern on them, plus they're puncture resistant. When it comes to the battery on this bike, it is right here underneath the seat. It is a 48 volt, 14 amp hours with 672 watt hours of power. You can charge it up while it's on the bike with this charging port right here. It comes with a 3 amp hour charger, which means you can charge this bike up in about 3.5 to 4 hours. You don't have to leave it on the bike. You can take it off and charge it somewhere else, but you can also extend the range of your ride because you can connect another battery up here on the front tube. It does have a connector for the battery already built into it. You can put a 14 amp hour battery on here or a 25 amp hour battery, extending the ride and range of this bike. Now, if you want to charge this battery somewhere else, it will come with 2 keys, and we do have to unlock it. You're gonna put the key in there, you're gonna turn it forward, pull the key out, now it's unlocked. We're just gonna push this up a little bit. The battery comes out and you can slide it right out of on the side. This is a battery indicator to show you how much power is in there. And the battery actually needs to be turned off and on, so that's a security feature when it comes to the bike as well. To put it back in, you're just going to slide it on there, click it down, grab your key again. You definitely want to lock it in so that way when you hit a bump, it doesn't bounce off, and you're good to go. There is also a charging port here on the side that if you have the dual battery option, you can just put that in there and it will charge both of the batteries up at the same time. The Letrigo Minivan has a UL 2271 certification and an IPX6 rating for the display, which means it is protected against high pressure water streams, and an IPX5 rating for the bike, which means it can handle low pressure water streams from any angle. Additional features include metal fenders, aluminum pedals, a rear rack that can hold 140 pounds, a quick release seat post with a Velo performance seat, multiple mounting points for like a bottle cage or a front rack, and an adjustable stem. Let's talk about size and fit. Now, overall, this is a bigger cargo bike. It is 73.62 in length, and because of the 24-inch tires, they're a little bit taller. Well, you have 19 inches of clearance for the step over. Now, there are some adjustments that you can do with this bike by lowering the seat for your shorter rider, and we can take it all the way down to here. It doesn't come with this passenger kit, but you can purchase it separately and put it on. You can also make adjustments here to this adjustable stem, which is a nice feature, but I mean, that's for like a 5'2" rider. So it can go pretty low. Now let's go for our taller rider. There are no numbers here on the back, but I do see a marking saying that is our tallest height. And then you can just adjust the stem accordingly for your handlebars. Now me, I am 5'9", 225 pounds. I have a 32-inch inseam. And basically this is what I'll look like riding this bike today. These are both of the cargo vans provided by Letrigo. This is the Minivan SE, and then we have the full-size Big Brother minivan right there. I have this one set up for a cargo configuration because I don't have any small children or anything like that to need this passenger setup, but I got it because I wanted you guys to see what this looked like when it has the passenger kit on it. The cargo setup that I have on this bike are by third-party companies. This rear rack is by Event, and it's from the Event and Abound. And then I have the Gavton panniers that can also be purchased separately. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link down in the description below in case you want to set your minivan or your Minivan SE up like this. Let's take a quick look at the differences between these two bikes. The Minivan SE has a rear hub motor, while the Minivan has a mid-drive and a carbon belt system. The Minivan SE has a much smaller display. It is full color and an 8-speed transmission. On the Minivan, it has a much larger screen that looks totally different, and we have the CVT shifter. You can see the welding scars on the Minivan SE. They are very prominent, but look at how smooth and a much higher quality the welding is on the Minivan. The SE has 2-piston hydraulic brakes, but the Minivan has an upgraded brake system by Tektro that are 4 pistons. On the Minivan SE, there is a spring that keeps your front tire from going side to side when it is up on its back wheel. Unfortunately, the Minivan doesn't have that, so if you have weight on the back, that front tire is just going to go wherever. Both bikes have these really cool lighting system that goes down the side that are also turn signals. But the Minivan SE is about $1,000 cheaper. If you're wondering, you can click on my link below. It's going to take you to their website, and you can see the cost difference between these two. Cockpit operations. On your left-hand side, you have a double locking grip. This rubber feels pretty good, and it has a palm rest. This is your front brake lever. The bike comes with a horn, a throttle, and this is your control pad. Before we start the bike, we must first ensure that the battery is turned on. To turn the bike on, there is a button right here on the display, and you're just going to push it. As you can see, we have a full color screen. It's very nice looking. This is your time, which I have clearly not set up yet. This is going to tell you how many watts you're putting out, your speedometer. This is going to give you various information, your pedal assist level, your battery level, and your overall odometer. Underneath this display is a USB port. If you want to adjust your pedal assist levels, you're just going to use this plus button right here. And it's going to take you all the way up to pedal assist number 5. Use the minus button to take it all the way down to 0. The turn signals on this bike are really cool. Not only does it go down the side and on the back, but you get to see this turn signal indicator right here. To turn the turn signal off, you are just going to push that button again. If you want to get other information here in the middle, you're just going to hit the I button. It's going to show us our CO2, tree saved, trip distance, odometer, average speed, max speed, trip time, calories, and then it goes back to all of that. Since we have the bike on, let's test out the horn. Nice. Now, if we want to turn on our headlights, we're just going to hold the plus button until your headlight comes on. The screen dim just a little bit, and you see the headlight button. To turn the headlight off, we're just going to hold that plus button again. This is your headlight. It is a single bulb, but it does seem pretty bright. The rear tail light gets turned on whenever you have your headlights turned on. This is what the turn signals look like. This is what it looks like when you brake on the bike with the tail lights on. And then when that is turned off, you can still see your turn signals and you can still see your brake light. These are the lights that you can customize on the side, so you can change the color, you can change how it flows, it could strobe, it could do something like that. And then whenever you use your turn signal, it does the turn signal indicator. I think this is very, very cool. On your right-hand side, you have your shifter, your CVT shifter, and you can see that when I turn it, the little guy goes up the hill, and then when you turn it back, this is more for riding on flat land, and you have your rear brake lever back here. Let's just go ahead and hop into the advanced settings real quick. Now to do that, you're just going to hold the I button down, and it takes us into the other menu. Let's go ahead and clear the trip. We went ahead and done that. If you go down here, you can display the unit between miles and kilometers, screen brightness, Auto power off, that means how long you want the bike to be turned on before it shuts off automatically. Auto headlight, which means it will turn on automatically depending on the how dark it is outside. This is some cool stuff. This is where you control the light strip that goes down the side of it. I chose cyan. Bluetooth mode, we turn that on because it does have an app, light color, all of that. We can go here, number of batteries. We only have one on this bike. Speed limit is 28. Maybe it shows up that way. I think I said it shows up as a class 2. I know I've been riding this bike for a bit and I think I might have unlocked it, but it might show up already set to 28. Either way, you know where to go in to test it. This is where we can set the time. You can set a password for this bike so nobody can steal it or access it without knowing the password. Get you your system info, and this is where you scan it to go into your app. From here, we can just hit the exit button. Now, what I'm going to do next is, well, I'm going to charge this battery up, or I could just grab the battery from the other one. They are interchangeable because I know that battery is full. I'm going to take off this passenger kit here off the back, and I'm going to put on the cargo setup. Then we're going to throw 100 pounds of weight on the back and get it out on the road. The passenger kit has been replaced with this back rack and these panniers. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the weight that we're going to be throwing on this bike for this review. We have 2 cases of water, my Foldy Lock, and we're bringing the extra battery today, and that comes to 73.1 pounds. Now let's add my camera equipment. That's an additional 12.9 pounds. That will give us a total of 86 pounds. And I know it's not the 100 pounds that I normally put on these bikes during the review, but I got smaller cases of water than what I was normally able to get. We are out here on the 606 trail here in Chicago. Today is going to be in the mid to high 60s, which is going to be a great day to go riding. Now, we are currently riding this bike without any pedal assist to help us out, just to see how this bike rides. And right now, we're doing about 10 miles an hour. And it's not a bad ride at all, even with this additional weight on the back. Let's go ahead and test out the throttle on this bike. I have it into pedal assist 0. I can barely see the screen with glasses on or off. It does have a really bad glare, and everything is like a light blue, and it's just not so easy to see. But we get it in pedal assist number 1. Let's use throttle only. I want to see if it's dictated to the pedal assist levels. I don't think it would be. Ooh, this has a nice pickup to it. We're cruising at 16 to 17 miles an hour in pedal assist number 1, so maybe it is dictated. Let's go ahead and go for number 2 and see if I notice a difference. It looks like no matter what, with weight on the bike, you'll cruise about 17 to 18 miles an hour. You know what? Let's go ahead and put it into pedal assist number 5 and see if I notice a difference, just to make sure. And no. So now we know what the maximum speed of using throttle will be for you. All right, so let's talk about the torque sensor that is on this bike. It seems to be extremely responsive, and that is definitely something that you want to have happen while you are riding with cargo on the bike. I mean, I have it in pedal assist number 2, and I'm super comfortable. And I'm just moving around this CVT to try to make it to where the resistance is what I want it to be for a nice smooth ride. So I think I'm really going to like this transmission. Now, since it is a torque sensor and I'm in pedal assist number 2, if I crank down on it, we're currently doing 14 miles an hour, but if I crank on it, well, we've shot up to 18 real quick, 19, 20, and it still has very little effort. Oh, just shot up to 24 miles an hour. Yeah, this is a nice torque sensor, which I would think that it would definitely have to be for a bike like this. I mean, with this thing being a mid-drive, belt-driven, you can tell it's a premium cargo e-bike. Let's take a look at the speedometer versus the display. The display shows we're doing 15 miles an hour, and so does the speedometer. So it looks like we're going to be very accurate when it comes to the speeds and today's distance. I'm going to put it into pedal assist number 5. We're going to go ahead and do a speed test. I want to see how quick it's going to take for throttle only to hit that 17 mile an hour top speed. And let's go. And it's taken off a lot slower than it did on the first one. We are just now starting to move. I tell you what, it's definitely not going to throw you off the back of this bad boy. And it looks like right there. Oh, we're hitting 18 miles an hour. There we go. Still about 20-something seconds to get up to full speed, but man, that takeoff was slow. Normally I would be doing a speed test. But with all this weight on the back, the only time I would want to do 28 miles an hour is if I didn't have a bunch of weight on the back. So it'd be great to get you where you wanted to go. But when you have that weight, like 20, 22 miles an hour is what I feel comfortable with. Anything over that, you shouldn't have any weight or anybody on the back. One of the things that I really like about this cargo bike from Letrigo is the fact that whether it be the Minivan RSC or this one, they both get on and off the kickstand extremely easy, right? I mean, you saw how easy that was, and then just backing it up, and it's almost effortless. I mean, it is a really good setup. Oh, I also talked to Letrigo, and I said, hey, you guys should add that spring there that keeps the front tire straight. And they said that the bikes that are coming out now will have that feature on it. So I'm glad, because I like it when that steering wheel, or when your front wheel, not steering wheel, when your front wheel just stays forward like that, because right now it's just going to turn to the side. But at least you know that yours won't do that. It is time for the brake test, and we're going to do this in two different versions. Now, I have all the weight on the back of the bike right now, so we're going to do one with the weight on it, and we're going to do about 20, 22 miles an hour, and then we're going to take the weight off, repeat that, and then I'll do one at 28 miles an hour. I just don't feel it's safe to do a review or a brake test with all that weight on the back at top speed. Oh, these 4-piston brakes are working great. I think we were at like 22 miles an hour. We stopped at 14 feet. That was nice. You know what? Let's do that again. I want to see if I can go a little bit faster. I might be changing my mind a little bit. Things felt pretty good. All right, round number 2. Let's crank it up. I mean, the brakes really feel like you are in control. 23, 24. Oh, that's about as far as I want to do it speed-wise. We stopped at 26 and a half feet. All right, let's get some of the weight off this thing. Let's try it all over again. I took all the weight off the back. We're going to try to get it up to like 22 miles an hour again, which is pretty easy without weight on the bike. Wow, I mean, just these brakes feel really, really good when you lock them up. Man, we're at 17 feet. That's where we are at, but these brakes feel excellent. Now we're gonna go fast. All right, here we go. Let's crank this bad boy up. Let's go. Oh, 25 feet. Oh, it was up there. I hit 28 like right when I hit the spot to slam on the brakes. Yeah, this thing feels good. 25 feet. This is a seriously stopping bike, and it feels good. These are some nice Tektro brakes. I really like the grips that are on this bike. They just feel good on your palms. You know, they're not going to move or anything like that. This seat, I thought, you know, looking at it, I'm like, oh, I'm not sure how this seat's going to be, but it feels nice. And it actually feels like it belongs on this bike. It's not too thick. It's not too padded. It's not too wide. It just feels right. There are a lot of bikes that are mid-drives that do not have a throttle on it because they're trying to save the motor. I mean, I reviewed some that are mid-drives, no throttle. But when you have a cargo bike, you definitely need that throttle to get you going, especially when you have weight on the back of it. And it takes off gentle enough that there's just no way that I see it damaging the motor when using it, even from a dead stop or whatever. This is the first time me using one of these transmissions, and it feels very natural. Now, I do find myself like making adjustments to it often because you can just do it on the fly, and you can just make micro adjustments if you want. It doesn't have to be like when you're changing in a gear, like from gear 4 to 5 or from 5 to 6, you have that big difference where you can make micro changes to how this bike performs instead of those big ones. It just makes it feel really, really natural. And I know I've said this once already, but this does feel like a premium cargo bike. What I find pretty interesting is the fact that this bike has all-terrain tires on it. I mean, when it comes to cargo bikes, I don't want to take them off-road. That is not what a cargo bike is for. But I guess if you have a gravel path or something like that, well then yeah, you would want some tires that could handle it. Now we are going to do the off-road test on it, but it's just not something that I would see that would barely be used, if ever, with a bike like this. Now so far, I think if they were going to make some improvements on this bike, I would make improvements to the color of the information that is on this display. Right? I mean, the light blue and stuff, it looks cool. You can't change the color of it, but it's not the easiest to see. And then this screen with the glare, well, that also makes it a little bit more difficult. But so far, I mean, I'm looking down at it right now, and I can see everything I need to see, so I really can't complain. Now I'm just being nitpicky. It is time to do some off-roading with a bunch of water in the back. Let's go. Okay, oh, here we go. Ooh, we are bouncing around. And I feel like the front suspension is locked. And it was, and now it is not. Oh, there we go. Things are much better. Now, okay, now that's a huge difference. Unlocking this front suspension. Ooh, big dip right here. Let's see what happens. You really need to add a suspension seat post to this bike. Well, you know what? Not on normal streets, but if you're going to be doing a bunch of areas where the road is not, smooth, then yeah. There we go. We are here at the Hill of Pain. And we're going to see if the throttle is going to be enough to get us up the hill. I don't think it's going to be, but I know that we'll have no issues making it with pedal assist. We do have it in pedal assist number 5. I have little hopes that we're going to make it. I mean, we have a slow takeoff. We're only doing 5 miles an hour, and we are just now starting to hit the angle. There it is. Yeah, I didn't think so. This throttle takes off a little bit too slow for us to have the power that we would need to make it up the hill just throttle only. Watch the magic about to happen. I'm setting this into hill climbing mode, which you can see the little guy right here, or at least I think you can. He's ready to go. Pedal assist number 5. Let's go ahead and start pedaling. Oh, it definitely, oh my gosh. Yeah, now, I mean, we're flying. We're doing 9 miles an hour. This thing, now, it is so easy. I can't even explain on how much little effort I had to put into making it up the hill in this pedal assist level. I mean, that's where these mid-drive motors come, because I haven't tried a mid-drive motor that wasn't one heck of a hill climber. Man, if we had the battery power, we would try the Hill of Doom, which has a 31% incline. This one just has, it goes from 18 to 20%. Matter of fact, let's see if we could do it in pedal assist number 1. I just want to see if it's going to give us enough power to do that. I want to see what the differences are. Okay, yeah, as I'm starting to hit this hill, it is definitely not giving me much power. I just put it into pedal assist number 2. Not much more power. Oh, things are getting easier. Pedal assist number 3. Pedal assist number 4. And pedal assist number 5. There we go. Man, I love a good mid-drive motor when it comes to hill climbing. All you have to remember is if you see a hill, start pedaling. It is now time for the sand test. And when I did this with the SE, I was pleasantly surprised on how we made it through the sand. I expect that we should be able to do just as well with this mid-drive, the big minivan. So let's give it a shot and see. Oh no, let's go ahead and give it some throttle. I need to put it in the highest. There we go. There we go. I wasn't sure there at first, but I put it in the highest climbing version that it could be in. And we started to make it through. I just gotta not make this turn too sharp. But we are making it through. There we go. Pedal, pedal, pedal. Pedal, pedal. Yeah, just like the Minivan SE, this bike definitely will ride through the sand. This is good. Not only will this bike make it to the beach, but it'll make it through the beach. With this weight on the back, 23, 24 miles an hour seems to be about the most that would make me more comfortable. But we do have it up to 26 right now. 27. Let's go. Woo, I think on a straightaway, if you can feel safe, you can crank this thing up, but that's still a lot of weight to have on the back. If you had to maneuver like super quick, you might not be able to do it. But for that small run, yeah, you're gonna put some effort in though. Let's go ahead and test out the walk feature. I do have it on pedal assist number 4. We should just be able to hold the minus button and the bike start to take off. And it does have the walk mode, but it is not powerful enough with a load to get us up this hill. So now let's see if the throttle is going to do it. Okay, so if you have a load on this bike, well, you're gonna have to use the throttle and not the walk feature. I'm kind of surprised that this is the weakest walk feature. Well, I do have a lot of weight on the back. We are in pedal assist number 3. We have 41% battery power left, and we have made it to the Chicago skyline. This is called the Lakeshore Trail. That is Lake Michigan, and we are heading deep into the heart of the city. Because this does have an adjustable stem on it, you can absolutely put yourself in whatever riding position that you want. So you can sit straight up and down, you can lean a little bit forward, heck, you can even lean back. So here's the cool part. I love how these turn signals look. Even in the bright light, you can see them. Here, let's see how it looks from the rear. And then let's go ahead and hit the brakes. So let me show you guys the turning radius on this bike when it is loaded down. And I feel like we can turn pretty good. We're using throttle right now to keep that going. There we go. Nice. So the turning radius is still pretty good on this bike. Oh. Oh. All right, I'm gonna get dizzy. Stop it. Figured I would go ahead and turn around to start heading home. At 31% battery power, we should have no issues making it. Like I said, I do have that additional battery, but the goal is to not use it. We're starting to hit a hill, and so we just make those micro adjustments to the transmission, and it just makes it so nice and so easy when going up one of these hills. Although fighting this wind, we're dropping power pretty quick. We're already down to 24% battery power. Now, when it comes to having a mid-drive, it is so much easier to maintain. Well, this carbon belt, this single drive, like you shouldn't have any issues at all for a long time. We have dropped down to 20% battery power. As you can see, the battery has turned yellow, and we still have a ways to go. I'm really not concerned. I think this bike has done a really good job so far when it comes to reserving the battery power, but mid-drives are good for that. This is that time of day where I'm really happy to be riding a bike, because instead of just sitting in traffic like that you can see around me, I can just cruise right on through and not have to deal with any of it. Well, I have made it back, and I have to tell you that this bike did get heavy towards the end, as you guys just saw. But you know what? When I took a look at the display showed that we went 27.9 miles. But when you take a look at Strava, Strava shows that we went 26.9 miles. So overall, this is 1 mile farther than what Strava is showing. Now, for me, going that distance and it only being off a mile, I don't think it really matters. You could use the bike to track your mileage. I mean, since you have to reset the trip mileage, which is a good thing, it won't just automatically do it when the bike turns off. So you could use that to track your mileage, or possibly the app if we were able to get it working. Now, overall, I thought this bike was super comfortable. I'm really enjoying the whole, continuous variable transmission thing. and how this bike rode. You can tell it is a premium cargo bike for sure. I really enjoyed the riding position of the bike. The grips were great. The display, wasn't too sure about it at first, but you know what? As the day went on, I ended up liking it more and more. Just wish you could see it a little bit brighter. But then I looked. I only had it at number 2 brightness. I could have pumped that all the way up to 5 and it would have been much brighter. Now just pay in mind that once you start hitting 10% battery power, that things are going to become more difficult when it comes to this bike. The bike's giving you everything it can give you, but it's just going to be a lot harder, as when the battery drains, it's not going to give you as much power. And the nice part is about the displays, you can see how many watts that the motor is giving you, so you can kind of dictate it on that. But I would for sure get like that 25 amp hour battery for this thing, and it would go super far. You could ride it all day long with no issue. Stopping on this bike was excellent. You know, these bikes are the easiest to just get up on the kickstand and get off of the kickstand. Now they are a little bit narrow, so they can become unstable if you have a lot of weight on the back. So just keep that in mind. This bugs me, but the new versions have the little the spring that goes through there, so it will keep your tire nice and straight.